Welcome to After Hours with Antonia. This is a safe space to slow down, to breathe, and to sit with your thoughts for a moment. No pressure, no rush, just stillness. I'm really glad you're here. First of all, happy Sunday. I am so glad that you all are here again. I hope last week was amazing for you, and I hope that this week is even better. So lately, I've been thinking about how obedience doesn't always feel rewarding, especially when it costs you something you really wanted. This has been on my mind because my birthday is in less than 2 months and I'm turning 30. And so, as we know, 30 is a big birthday. And if you know me, you know I love my birthday. Like, I'm always planning ahead. I'm always, making sure I have plans, whatever it is. And for my last few birthdays, I went out of town on my birthday, and so for 30, I wanted to do a mini European tour, if you will. So I've never been to Europe, so I'm like, I want to go to London, Paris, and then a part of Italy. So I mean, I had been last year. This was like last year around my birthday. I was already starting to try to prepare for this year for my birthday. I mean, trying to figure out what's the best airline. Now, granted, it was way too far in advance to see actual tickets for the actual dates I was looking. So I would just look out as far as I can and kind of look at the same timeline of, how long I would want to go, this and that, just to give myself some form of a ballpark, compare airlines. I mean, I was on TikTok looking at what people did when they went to London, Paris, looking at different parts of Italy to determine what part of Italy I want to go to, trying to look at what is the smoothest transition of like, where should I fly into? How should I go from there? I mean, y'all, I really was like, okay, I'm going to fly into London and then I'm going to take the train from London to Paris and then I'm going to fly from Paris to whatever part of Italy. Like, I had went that far, right? I'm like, and then when I go, is Europe, you gotta go shopping. So I'm like, I gotta go shopping, trying to think already of like what I want to get, what stores, what. I was far, okay? In this planning, I was far, okay? And listen, I had did my due diligence, but right now I'm building towards something bigger. And with that, financially, that would not have been responsible to say, let me go do this mini European tour when I have bigger things that I'm trying to do. So then I was like, okay, I never been to Punta Cana. Maybe I can go to Punta Cana for my birthday. So I found a great resort. It's a new resort. I'm like, okay, so I'm pricing things out. It still would have been a decent amount of money because it's my 30th. Like, I'm not just, first of all, the resort itself, it's not exactly the Ritz Carlton, but it's not low tier either. So it's like a mid tier thing, right? So I'm like, okay, this still a few decent amount of dollars, and it's my birthday, so I'm not taking the most basic room, y'all. I need a little vavoom vam, if you will. So this still would have been costing me a good amount of money, of course, and not as much as going to Europe would have been, but it still would have been some money. So I'm like, Antonia, that's not really smart to do that right now. It's not. Well, what I'm trying to do, yes, I could go to the Punta Cana trip. I could. But am I? No. Because financially, that would not be the best thing to do. And y'all, when I say I'm crushed about this right now, because my birthday is April 13th, so less than 2 months away, and I really don't know what I'm doing. I probably like go to dinner. I don't know what I'm going to do because of what I'm doing and what I'm working on, timelines. I don't know. So with that, nothing big is planned at all. And I'm just like, dang. I'm like, that's just gonna seem like such a boring 30th. Like, I'm not doing nothing like big. Like, I'm like, I wanted to celebrate my 30 years, like in a big way. And I will say, what I'm building towards is big. It's just, it's not flashy. It's, I mean, when I was thinking about going to Europe or even Punta Cana, I was gonna get me some good Instagrammable photos. Like, it was gonna be, oh, this, that. I mean, the looks were gonna be on point. They were gonna eat down, okay? And it was going to feel good in the moment. I'm not going to lie. But what I'm building towards is more foundational. And that just it requires a bit of a difference, you know? Right now I'm learning that obedience looks quieter than I imagined. Because I was imagining some flashy birthday, some big thing cuz I'm turning 30, like you got to do it big. But that's not what this is. And right now, honestly, obedience is feeling like lost before it feels like alignment. Like, you know, obedience isn't always immediate promotion, immediate relationship, immediate breakthrough, immediate abundance. Sometimes obedience is not spending the money, not entertaining the person, not quitting too early, not forcing an outcome, saying no when it would have felt good to say yes. Obedience doesn't always feel rewarding, but disobedience doesn't feel peaceful. And so, with that, don't take the shortcut. Don't entertain the wrong person. Don't quit. Don't spend money just because you can. And don't force a timeline. What I'm learning is that sometimes we have to put some of the wants on the back burner for the needs. And again, obedience does not feel flashy. Right now, it may be easier for you to text that man, text that woman. But you know that would be disobedient. But I'm not going to lie. Sometimes disobedience be a little fun. It be thrilling. But it feels chaotic sometimes. You don't usually have peace in disobedience. Oh, disobedience can be fun as hell though. I'm not gonna lie. But I want to be where the peace is. And I hope you do too. And my question for you, are you choosing what looks good or what builds well? Because obedience is about what builds well, not what looks good. Now when I think about that trip, because I'm going on that trip. Now, Europe, it may not happen in year 30, but it's going to happen. But that beach trip, oh, that's happening. That got to happen at some point later this year. Because I need a reset. But when I go, I want to go in peace. I want to go knowing that everything is handled. That'll be the reward. When you know you've been obedient, you can enjoy your desires more. Because I'm not going to lie, when I'm in disobedience and I'm enjoying it, I still feel guilty. I still can't enjoy it as good because I know I shouldn't have been doing it. When you know you shouldn't have spent that money on something, it might not taste as good. You bought that food when you knew you should have ate at home because you're trying to save money. It may not even hit the same. And then you're like, damn, I should have just saved the money. Be obedient. This week, I hope you choose alignment over applause. I hope you do what you know you should do that'll set you up for success. I know sometimes it's the road less traveled, but obedience will take you far further than disobedience ever could. And the fun that comes from obedience, that's a whole different ball game of fun. Sometimes it's just delayed though, but it's still worth it. And that's all for tonight. I hope you take this with you into the week. Be gentle with yourself, and I'll meet you back here next time. Good night.